Hello beautiful Libra, and welcome to your astrological horoscope for September 2020. We are fast approaching your season, so happy birthday to any September born Libras watching this. The sun is shining a light into your shadows this month, illuminating what is hidden. Really, in astrology and in life, usually what is most hidden from us is what lies within our own subconscious. With your ruler Venus opposing Saturn squaring Mars early in the month, it is worth investigating what your attachment style is and how it's affecting your adult relationships. Our relationship style is said to be shaped in our earliest years, and with such big planets such as Saturn and Pluto in your family and security sector clashing with your partnership sector, it is worth investigating. Do you embrace love? Does it scare you? Do you make excuses to run away from it? All of this comes to the fore this month, especially with the Sun, New Moon and Mercury asking you to illuminate, communicate and make a fresh start with what lies beneath. The full moon in Pisces in your 6th house of health and habits sextiling Uranus on the 2nd is a time where you may radically change your diet or health and fitness plan. Some of you may finally kick an unhealthy vice or habit or even an addiction due to Uranus being in your secretive and somewhat destructive 8th house. Be prepared to make your health and well-being a priority. Oftentimes you do try to be very sensible with your well-being, especially taking care of your mental well-being, but are you living in the moment mindfully at the moment, Libra? Chances are with Mars in your relationship sector going retrograde on the 6th, you may find yourself mentally revisiting past lovers, relationships, but more so discovering patterns and finally getting down to the issue and being able to move forward as a more open and happier Libra. By the end of the month, Venus in your 11th house of wishes starts connecting with the true node and Mars paving the way for beautiful loving energy. You may finally meet someone that feels like fate or fall in love with a friend or fling from the past or strengthen an existing bond. But do watch for communication issues. Try to be calm and clear, don't overthink every conversation. Mercury in your sign is clashing with the big boys, so when Jupiter goes direct and Saturn in your 4th house, the childhood and family issues begin to heal up and you can see how much you've matured, all ready to make the most of your season and your time to shine. So the tarot follows on from this reading, from this horoscope, if you're interested in the tarot reading, and the extended will also be linked below. This is looking like a very deep and introspective month for you, Libra, leading up to your season, but it will do your heart some good to heal some old issues from the past. Have a wonderful month, and I will see you in the tarot. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to September 2020. This is the tarot part of your reading. I'm not on screen. I have set up my mic to try and get the sound quality improved for these videos, so we're dealing with a different setup. It's quite Halloween-y. I don't know why I've gone straight to Halloween. I think I'm excited. So this is going to be focusing primarily on Virgo season, but also happy birthday to all the September Libras. This is leading up to your season as well, so maybe there's a few things come up in this for you in terms of your birthday time, but for the most part this is a very introspective, a very healing, a very spiritual time for you. You know, a Virgo season is really a time that you can embrace in terms of getting into your own subconscious. Page of Swords and Strength. For a lot of you, this is looking like you've had to be very calm, very patient in terms of someone else's communication style. Maybe somebody is volatile, maybe somebody says too much, and maybe somebody says too little. And you, being you, are in some way trying to balance that out. But whatever the communication issue is, you're having to be very patient. And you're really trying to tap into some inner reserves that you have. And I think for a lot of you, you are resorting to analysis of why certain communication habits are the way they are, why certain people have certain patterns, maybe why you have a certain pattern, and maybe even looking into what motivates you in terms of communication and in terms of connection. For some of you, this has been patiently waiting on news, and I think a lot of you are losing that patience. But you have an inner knowing with the High Priestess, especially around the Pisces full moon, which is of course very much related to day-to-day matters, but is a very spiritual and very psychic and very intuitive time of the year. You have an inner knowing, Libra, that some news is coming. Some news is worth waiting on. And there is more below the surface than it appears, and you would not like to remove yourself too quickly, especially if it's with an Aries or a Pisces or a Leo, maybe even a Scorpio. But Mars is now retrograding in your partnership sector, and you're realizing that, yeah, not everything is what it seems. With what people say, with what people do, a lot of people are going to be keeping themselves to themselves. But you know that there's deeper workings going on here, especially in love. There is more going on. There always is. With the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune, in terms of business, in terms of career, things are starting to turn. And that can be good for you. That could be exceptionally good for you. 10 of Pentacles, especially in terms of money. But in terms of security, if you're waiting for some kind of offer, some kind of communication, some kind of prospect that will offer you prosperity, but also security, be it emotional, be it material, it will happen. Jupiter in your family sector of security, of home, of women, of many things, is going direct. And although it is clashing with Mars being in your partnership sector, this is actually very healing, and it's a healing that you've needed for a while. It's a looking below the surface. It's figuring out why that person has been so difficult, why these relationships have been so difficult, and now it starts to work. Towards the end of the month, it really starts to work. You start to understand why. And the why has always been the bit that has evaded you. It's the bit that has always been the most important. If you've been waiting on a Pisces, if you've been waiting on an Aries, a Leo, to make some kind of statement, to make some kind of gesture, or you're waiting for news from an employer or a prospect or a business partner or a family member to finally open up about what they're actually hiding. It's time. And if money has been, as it has been for many people, an issue in 2020, it's looking up. Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Pentacles, it's looking up a lot. That is lucky. Queen of Pentacles, very lucky. Oftentimes when people get their finances in order, or they find themselves in a secure relationship for the first time in their life, or they find themselves happy, content and calm in some area of their life, they often feel that it was just to do with the timing. Just the right person, right time. But really with the Queen of Pentacles, Libra, something within you in terms of your unique value, what you offer, has been somewhat of a catalyst. It's like an understanding. With the Queen of Pentacles, I always see her in this deck as holding this pearl of wisdom. And it reminds me of the Oyster card, where they open up to this beautiful pearl and show who they really are. And it's more beautiful than they present it on the outside, and makes you wonder why they hid it at all. But sometimes people hide their truth to be protective. And in being protective, they often find themselves in positions where they can't open up, because they have not been completely authentic. Seven of Pentacles. You've something in your life now that you can nurture, that you have to tend to, that can really grow. Page of Cups. Beautiful way to end the reading. And the King of Pentacles underneath. There is a lot of stability and security in your cards. There's a lot of love. And it's a theme for the next couple of months, of course, based on the astrology, that you're learning a lot about your relationships. You're learning a lot about love. And in learning about others in love, you have to learn about yourself too. Because you have a whole subconscious mind under there, Libra, that can really affect your choices. That can really affect who you are and what you do and what type of person you choose to be with, what type of person you choose to show up as. And in the 12th house, which is where we are now, you have some seriously important downloads. And it's making beautiful aspects to your sector of intimacy, as we can see here with the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune. Your luck is changing. If you have found love to be incredibly tough, if you have found business to be incredibly tough, things are changing. A divine change of fate. If you're dealing with an earth sign, or you're dealing with an Aries, Leo, or a Pisces that may be slow to open up, they will. Mercury is going to be in your sign and it's going to be clashing with Capricorn's energy, meaning that you and the earth signs can feel a little bit at odds. But if you take a slow and steady approach, as is recommended with Mars, all will be well. And there will be a beautiful exchange of words. When Mars and Venus meet towards the end of the month in your season, there will be a beautiful, beautiful energy for romance. For the Page of Cups, a lot of you seem to have been in a position where you've been waiting a long time for love to find you, or you've been waiting a long time for some words to be spoken or some gesture to be made. And I think for a lot of you, it's finally there. With the King of Pentacles, you could be dealing with someone who's very secure, someone who's very emotionally mature, very aware, very driven, with a lot of confidence in what they do. And it's ironic that Mars, the planet of war, being retrograde in your sector of love, albeit Mars rules your relationships, it's ironic that it would pull you into the energy of receiving, which is exactly where you needed to be all along, you know? And that goes for business too. That goes for contracts and partnerships, because actually one of the things that came up for you in your oracle cards, Libra, was the contract card and the commitment card. So for some of you, with the Ten of Pentacles here and the Page of Cups here, some of you could be getting engaged, some of you could be getting married, some of you could be meeting that person per se. That's not for everybody, that's just for some of you. And with the Iseult Undying Love card, it could feel like somebody that you've known a million lives before. So another thing in terms of finances, I have the third chakra. Also, the contract card could be signing a new job offer. That's one way to look at that as well. And the infinite supply, Libra. I think a lot of you have had a lack of confidence in what you can achieve and what is actually coming for you. And it has really been quite frustrating, and it's made you feel very impatient. The third chakra is a lot to do with your personal power. And I think a lot of you haven't felt that powerful lately. With so much going on in Capricorn, I understand, with Mars, you know, all this cardinal energy in the sky is very intense, but it's not there to throw things into the fire per se. It's more there to push you. And sometimes, Libra, you need a good push, especially emotionally, to figure some stuff out. You know, it's the third chakra is a lot to do with confidence in your abilities, and a lot to do with the belief that you can make certain things happen. And with the Sedna card, Infinite Supply, I feel like a lot of you have felt, you know, kind of a lack of options. especially in terms of career, but you're being told, Libra, that your luck is changing, okay? So just bear that in mind. Your luck is changing according to the cards. So with the cosmic egg and the dolphin, I feel like one of the ways to open up the good energy coming into you is simply by having a bit more fun. Easier said than done, I know, if you're worried about stuff, but with the dolphin card, it's very playful. It's very joyous, it's very jovial, it's very much about getting excited about life, getting excited about the people in your life. You know, the dolphin and the Page of Cups kind of remind me of young love, you know, that kind of playful, joyous honeymoon stage where you just enjoy the person for who they are. You're grateful they're there, you think that they're wonderful, you think that they're so sweet and so handsome or pretty or whatever it is, and you're just so excited to be with them. And you don't you don't fight, and it's a really beautiful energy to emulate, and it's not something that you have to wait for. You know, you don't have to wait for that person, you don't have to wait for the right time, as it were. This is about taking that energy into your own hands and having fun in the moment. With the cosmic egg, I feel like there's a lot of stuff coming up from beneath within you that just feels like it makes sense. You know, sometimes you come across information, and oftentimes, you know, what's that expression? When the student is ready, the master appears. Sometimes information comes to you in a way that feels meant to be. You know, for me recently, I would be Libra in sidereal, I can never pronounce it, and I have a Venus in Libra. But one of the things that came up for me, which really changed things, was learning about attachment styles. So I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you have probably learned about them. But in particularly, you know, you can really set yourself free by understanding them in other people. You can really set yourself free from a lot of chains from the past by understanding that person's style and understanding your own. You know, we don't necessarily have a lot of control over our attachment style until we realize it's there. So for you, Libra, I think Mars in retrograde in your partnership sector is a lot to do about realizing the stuff that's going on that has been shaping your relationships, that has been shaping your business choices. And once you know about it and you can work on it, you're unstoppable. And it's almost like the whole world was just waiting for you to get this point, to let in what it is that you've been wanting. And I think I get the impression with the Strength card and the Seven of Pentacles, you've been waiting a long time. So communication will be tricky at points this month, but it will with the Page of Cups. You know, to start with the Page of Swords and end with the Page of Cups, communication becomes a lot sweeter, it becomes a lot more emotional, it becomes a lot more sentimental. And with the Undying Love card and the Commitment card, there is a lot of beautiful energy flowing between you and somebody else, or you and a group of people, or whatever it is, but it's all very beautiful. So thank you for watching, Libra. I hope you have a wonderful month. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I will see you soon. Happy birthday, September, Libras. Bye.